Ba-da-ba-ba. Hmm. Oh, it does work. Okay, I'm stupid. Anyways. While you guys are joining, I'm going to organize this by division. Right here. And then right here. And then okay. There. And then the south here. Michael College Prize Spotted. Yep. If you haven't been in here for the last two streams, welcome to my college. Welcome to my dorm. Welcome to my college dorm. Good to see everybody. I had a lot more free time in college than I thought, so. Okay, and there's one more. There. Please let that air conditioner be quiet. Because I don't want too much noise getting into the microphones. The AC is so loud. Let me see. Okay, now I remember. This, and then this, and then this, and then this. And then this, this, and then this, and then where are they? There they are. And then flip these two around, and then here, 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 and then here. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. I don't know where there they are. Why are you up here? Anyways. Okay. Alright, ready to go. Ready to rock and roll. Hello, Graham. Welcome to the stream. What are you majoring? I'm majoring in computer science. So, hi. Yeah, I said an alpha stream. I'm majoring in computer science. Which I had the class today, so sweet. There you go. Yo, your only Seahawks fan is here. Welcome. Let's see, is my roommate back? You might be able to meet him. Let's see. It's just here. Okay. Yeah, my dorm room can get pretty freaky sometimes. But anyways, yep, I'm in a dorm, Gabe. I'm in a dorm. He's not here yet. I think he's out having dinner. So. Okay. We'll get to the lines when we get to the lines. But, yeah. Majoring in BattleCats developer. Yeah. Speaking of developer, I've actually been like experimenting. What am I majoring in? I'm majoring in computer science. By the way, um, somebody do exclamation funny Mike. By the way. Anyways, yeah, I'm majoring in computer science. I took a class today, so sweet. And yeah, I've been working in Roblox Studio. I've been honestly like I have a lot of free time, so I just been working in Roblox Studio on another project. It's not Botan. It's a different project. I won't tell y'all what it is yet. It's a surprise. It will come eventually. Did you bring your whole PC? No. This is a laptop. This is not my PC. My PC would be much higher quality. But yeah. Yeah, but serious, computer science is a great option because AI is on the rise and AI can make itself better. Yeah, no, AI is still like a pretty new thing. So it's like it's still trying to get itself works. It's still in the works, still getting itself clean and stuff. Do you have the access to Discord? Yes, I do. But I don't usually use it because this is mainly like a working computer. It's not like a streaming. It's not like a huge high quality thing. That's why I don't play games on here. But I do. But the only things I really play it use is like Roblox Studio on here, and schoolwork stuff. But I can still do live streams though, because I can do this. Michael, you got me something for my 18th birthday. Hey, well, happy birthday! Happy birthday! So you're leaving your house for the rest of your college career? No, no. But I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be out. Probably in like my junior senior year. Probably gonna have an apartment. So yay, responsibilities. But this is my first year away from home. And can you drive yet? I've been able to drive. I've been able to drive for over a year now. I've had my license for like over a year. Speaking of Roblox, what's your opinion on the controversy? Yeah, they're digging themselves into a hole. And right now, it's not really a good time to be a dev, dev on it. But like, screw it. I'm still making games. Drive me to 7-Eleven. Good luck. Good luck. I'm gonna be asleep by the time I even get close to. Anyways, anyways, let's get this started. What we're doing today is definitely gonna, if you watch American football or the NFL, this is probably gonna piss you off. So let's get on into this. And here we go. And we're gonna rank them. So here we are. Here's the tier list. Here we're gonna rank them from S to F. S being the best and F being the worst. And since I'm doing it live, y'all get to berate me for every team I do pick. Let me actually get the chat on my phone here. That way I can get it much easier to see what you guys are saying. There we go. How are you using Facecam? This is the monitor that's in the Facecam. Yeah, this is the built-in Facecam camera in the computer. I still have Funny Mic though. As you can see, like this. Which you guys can also activate. If you weren't here in the previous stream, if you do this, are you using Streamlabs? Yes. If you do this, there you go. It activates the Funny Mic, and the Funny Mic will be on for 1 minute, and then you have to wait 5 minutes afterwards in order to use it again. So yeah, commands are new, so yay. Anyways, let's get this party started. So first up, I'm going by division. Each one started off with the AFC and then going to the NFC. Yeah, that's a custom command I made. But anyways, so we're gonna start off. I'm going off placements of last year, where all the teams ranked last year.
placed in the division last year. So we're just going to go up. So yeah, let's first off get started. So the first team here, New England Patriots. I think the Patriots have so many new things with it. Like obviously they brought in Mike.
And they're going to be, and he's a great coach. But I think there's just a lot of unproven things for the Patriots. I don't think they're on that level yet to where they can run for the division. But so I'm looking to put them at around the C tier, middle of the road. I think their defense is going to be better. I think it's just their offense I'm mainly worried about. So yeah, what you think? What you thinking of the Patriots? Yeah, I know much about football. Can you give a rundown the last 50 years? I don't even remember all of the last 50 years. So it hasn't been 5 minutes, Gabe. It hasn't been 5 minutes. Yes, I'm thinking the Patriots at C. I think they're a promising team. They're getting younger. I think they can get some good wins here and there, but I don't think they're on that level yet. Oh, yeah, C tier. And now, next up, the New York Jets. The Jets are this weird team. They used to be so hyped in 2023 and 2024 because of their defense being really good and Aaron Rodgers was on his team. Now, they underperformed last year and everyone's crapping on the Jets. So the Jets, I think their defense is going to be good. I think they're actually going to have a better season than they did last year with Aaron Rodgers. I think just a lot of people are counting out Justin Fields too early. I think the Bears counted out Justin Fields too early when they got cut him, and also they got rid, and also the Steelers didn't start him because Russell Wilson. So I'm thinking the Jets, I think, are going to have a better season. I think their defense is going to take a new step up with Aaron Glenn. I'm thinking B tier. I'm thinking build a B tier for the Jets. Actually, no, I think it's a little too high. I think they're still unproven a little bit. I'm going to give them a C, right near the Patriots. What's your favorite NFL team? The Detroit Lions, which I'll get to in a second. And I'll get to later on. So, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, they can be a really good team if they weren't in a really hot environment. Because they're in Miami, which is usually sunny and is very warm. But whenever they play in cold weather, like they played in the playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023, they literally got frozen. Like, it was bad. Yeah. The Dolphins have a superstar offense because in 2023 they scored 70 points on the Broncos. But it also depends on Tua, because Tua likes to go fling his head and turn his head into scrambled eggs every time he goes on the football field. And so the dude is, and also their backup QBs aren't that great. So Miami, I think, is just a more. It depends on the season. It depends on Tua. If Tua gets hurt, they're screwed. But if Tua doesn't get hurt through the season, they're definitely a great team to rival the Bills. I think they're a B tier. I don't think they've proven enough for me to put them in the A or S tier yet. But they're coming. But if they do well, then they'll have to earn that A tier. So now, this is another one of these things where I'm split on, and it's probably going to piss a lot of people off. The Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills have been reigning the AFC East for years. Like, no team has been able to get close to knocking them off. Like, anytime it's been hyped up where either the Dolphins can do it or the Jets can make a leap, they just get shut down by the Bills. Like, last year was supposed to be a Bills down year, but then Josh Allen had his MVP season and literally just stomped on the entire AFC East with an iron fist. And also, they made the AFC Championship game last year, and they only lost to the Chiefs. And they were one of the few teams that actually managed to beat the most scoring offense in the entire league last year, that being the Detroit Lions. But I think I'm just more so worried because this is not a really a complete team. I don't feel like the Bills are a complete team. Like, sure, you have Josh Allen, but what happens if Josh Allen gets hurt? Their season, they can easily get to like a 5-12 season if Josh Allen gets hurt. So this is gonna piss some people off. No, I love Josh Allen, but I think just Josh Allen needs a better supporting cast on offense. Their defense is decent though. I'm gonna have to be A tier. I'm gonna put him A tier. I don't think they're S tier yet. I know it's a little low for making the champ for
that made the AFC Championship last year, but yeah, I don't feel like they're a complete enough team to win a Super Bowl. So, hate to be that guy, but could you perhaps do Falcons, because it's kind of late where I'm at. I have school tomorrow, and I was born in Atlanta, so I'd like to hear your opinion. I might do it. I might. But I'll have a lot to say about the Falcons. And now it's getting dark. Oof. Give me some light in here. I'll move this a little bit. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I'm seeing God. Yeah, I think that's good. So, basically, the AFC East, Bills, I think, are definitely going to win the AFC East again. But I don't know, I don't know if they'll be able.
I hope they do, because I really like the Bills. I like Josh Allen, but I just don't think their team is built enough to win a Super Bowl yet. I think A tier. Now, we're moving on to to an even better division, one of the best divisions in the entire league, the AFC North. Starting off with the Cleveland Browns. I don't think I need to say anything. Yeah, we just leave them down there. Although they are going to sneak out a couple wins somehow against like the Steelers and Ravens, but it's written in their code to go steal a win from the most unexpected team. The Cincinnati Bengals. They recently just paid Trey Hendrickson, their star pass rusher. Well, not really paid, but they just gave him a raise for 1 year. But the Cincinnati Bengals, I think they're a great team. Joe Burrow can definitely be an MVP. Because he's gonna have to score like 70 a game in order to win games. Because like there is no way. Imagine if the Bengals actually had a full-on completed defense. They'd probably already win like a Lombardi or two if they had a full complete defense. But the thing is, the Bengals offense is so bad. Their offense is really good. But they have their money soaked into guys like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and also fully put in their money, and also Trey Hendrickson. So they have a superstar offense, just a terrible defense. So they're going to be a really good team. There are going to be a good offense. They just don't have defense. Joe Burrow's really good though. I'm going to have to put them in B tier. I think they could sneak in as a wild card team, but I just don't think they're going to I don't think they're going to beat like the big teams in the AFC, especially how hard the division is. Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Aaron Rodgers-led Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just his 9-8 season all over it, somehow making the wild card and just missing the playoffs. That would be the most steep, and just get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. That's just the most Steelers thing possible. I think Steeler fans are just praying on their knees, trying to sacrifice everything so they could get a good draft pick. Steelers, I think they're B tier. I think Aaron Rodgers is just gonna put one last hurrah in his career with the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. And also they also got guys like DK Metcalf. But yeah, I think the Steelers, they're another one of those like mid teams that are, and it's just gonna happen somehow. They're gonna make the playoffs. And now, this is it. The Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, one of the best teams in the entire AFC. I don't think anybody is judging it, even though they got bounced in the divisional rounds. They are the more complete team. Like, let's just put these two side by side for a second. We got the Buffalo Bills and Ravens. Between these two teams, who do you think is the more complete team? Obviously, the Bills have Josh Allen but they don't really have a full offense. They have a pretty good defense, though. I will give them that. Ravens, they have Lamar Jackson, who's won MVPs. He's got guys like Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, even though he didn't catch that pass in the divisional round. But I think the Ravens are a more complete team. And how can I forget? Derrick Henry is on this team. How can I forget Derrick Henry, who's just immune to age cliffs? I think, in my opinion, the Ravens are the more complete team than the Bills. But it's a different story when it comes to the playoffs. So I'm going to put them in S tier. I think S tier. I think Baltimore has a really good shot at going to the Super Bowl this year. It's either them or the Bills or the Chiefs. But we'll get to the Chiefs in a second. But right now, I think Baltimore is one of the most complete teams in the AFC, if not the complete team in the AFC, to go win a Super Bowl. Other than, like, Kansas City. But, yeah. Anyways, yeah, the AFC North, I think, is going to be a really competitive division like it's always been. But I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to win the division again. I think it's just going to be the third year in a row Baltimore wins the division. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on to the AFC South. We came from one of the best divisions to one of the worst. Yeah, Tennessee Titans. Obviously, they picked up Cam Ward. They're getting some more guys. Brought some more guys. They brought in Kevin Zeitler from my Lions, which sucks. But, yeah, Tennessee, they had the number 1 overall pick. Cam Ward has looked pretty decent. I hope they could be their guy, but I don't know how high of hopes Cam Ward has of being in the league. But I think it's D tier. I think it's D tier. They barely escape F tier, but I think they're D tier. They're close though. They just need to prove to me. They just need to prove to me they could compete. The Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are tough because obviously they got guys like Travis Hunter on there. They're gonna be, and I think T-Law is gonna. I don't know how he's gonna perform with Liam Cohen as his coach. And their GM brought these guys in, and their GM was all about them pick strategy at LA, which won LA a Lombardi. So I'm thinking, but the Jaguars, this is big. This is a big year for T-Law. If he does not live up to expectations, then he's already putting a staple of being a bust. But when is he going to take this big leap? I don't know. Will he take the leap? I don't know either. But I'm thinking that C tier. I think they're barely above the Titans. Well, actually, no. They're the same level. What am I talking about? Yeah, I think Jacksonville's on the same level as the Titans. They just need to prove it to me. Both of these teams need to prove to me that they can be better than the dumpster fires there were last year. Indianapolis Colts. Anyways, moving on. I'm just kidding. The Colts, obviously, they now have Anthony Richardson, mind-bogglingly lost to Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones should not be starting on any NFL team. He's a terrorist to these teams. I just don't know if the Colts are going to be that good this year. Like, I think Daniel Jones is going to absolutely sell this team. So I'm just gonna put them in F. I think F tier is where the Colts gonna go. Maybe Daniel Jones could try to revive his career. I don't know, but it just depends. I don't know. I doubt it though. I don't know about Daniel Jones. And next up, the Houston Texans. Obviously, Houston Texans. They own the AFC South. They have C.J. Stroud still. I'm more so worried about their offensive line, but They have a good defense though. The Texans have a good defense. I will give them that. But Texans, they might be the weakest division winner out of the list. I'm gonna have to put them in A tier, next to the Bills, like below the Bills. And here's my roommate. Hello. Joining the live stream?
What?
You want to join the live stream?
I gotta practice.
Okay, go ahead.
Who's in there?
Just a couple of my chat.
Y'all guys are beautiful. I'm gonna kiss you later.
That's my roommate. Say hi. Anyways, let's continue after that. But yeah, Houston Texans, I think CJ Stroud's great. I think they're going to have a bounce back year, but I just don't think they're going to be able to do much in the AFC. I mean, they're a good team, but I just don't think they're on the level of the Bills or the Ravens or the Chiefs yet. Just give it another 1 or 2 years. Now moving on to somehow this became one of the best divisions. The AFC West. First off, the Las Vegas Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders sucked last year. Now they brought in guys like Ashton Jeanty, even though Ashton Jeanty didn't look that good in the preseason. And they brought in a couple guys. Pete Carroll's now their coaching. I think the Raiders are turning over a new leaf, and I think they're going to be competitive in the AFC West, but I think they're still the weakest roster. I think they're still the weakest roster out of the AFC West. I'm thinking they're going to be D tier. Unless they prove it to me, I think the Raiders are going to be a D tier team. Although, I like Geno. But should I put the Raiders at C? Oof. I think there's just more unproven. The Raiders' defense is, I think, decent. I'm going to give them a C. I'm giving them a C tier. I'm one of the big Geno fans. I'm a big fan of Geno, but we'll just have to see how he does with the Raiders. Right now, the Denver Broncos, the mile-high Denver Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to do better than the Chargers this year. Broncos, I think, have definitely put in so many more moves. Like, their defense is becoming one of the best defenses in the league. Like, they have so many studs on there. And also I think Bo Nix is going to take a big step in year 2. I mean, obviously, there could be a slump, but I think year 2, Bo Nix is going to be awesome this year. I think they have a chance to at least get second place. I think they have a chance to at least get second place in the AFC West. I'm thinking they're a B tier team. If they could prove it to me, they could get in the playoffs, win a playoff game. They're going to go into A tier. They're going to go into the A tier. But right now, Broncos, I think they're B tier. Next up, the Chargers. The Chargers, a lot of things. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, he's there. He's a great coach, but I just don't know. I mean, they managed to make it to the playoff game. They managed to make it to the playoffs and then choked in the playoffs against the Texans. I think they're just gonna. I think the Chargers. I don't know what receiver they have besides Ladd McConkey, and I don't know how Omarion Hampton's gonna pan out. So I'm thinking they're gonna be C tier. I think they're gonna be C tier. They're gonna probably be. But they can prove it. Justin Herbert's a really good quarterback. I'm high on Justin Herbert, but he needs to show up in the playoffs. You can't just go only throw 4 picks the entire season and then throw 5 picks in the playoff game. That's just how it is. Because you just can't do that. And now, the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. Yay. Congratulations to them. Kansas City, S tier. I don't even think I need to say even though they got blown out in the Super Bowl against the Eagles, they're been to the Super Bowl in 3 straight years. 3 straight years they've made it to the Super Bowl. Even when it's their weakest team and getting away with double magic, they still got to the Super Bowl. Like, that's just saying enough. Like, I think the Chiefs are they're still the team to beat in the AFC. Eventually it may turn to Baltimore if Patrick Mahomes' stats keep going down. Maybe it'll turn to Ravens, but right now I think the Chiefs are still the team to beat. They have a really good defense, and then the offense relies mainly on Patrick Mahomes. But the only reason I'm not putting the Chiefs in A tier is because they're one of the few teams that know how to win. They know how to get to the Super Bowl. They know how to win the big game. They've done it before. Even when they were in low seasons, even when Kansas City only had the 3 seed, they still won the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are still an S tier, even when they got blown out by the Eagles. I'm just saying. Just because they got blown out by the Eagles, that doesn't mean their dynasty's over. Dynasties don't die like that in one Super Bowl. The only way this dynasty would die so fast is if they lose like the Andy Reid, or if they lose Patrick Mahomes, if everything just collapsed there. That's how it was with the dynasty with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So, yeah, S tier. So that's the entire AFC. I think it's a toss-up, I think, this year between the Broncos and the Chiefs. But I think the Chiefs are still going to win the division. I think Chiefs just know how to win. They somehow just find a way to do it. Give me the Chiefs to win the AFC, just to win the AFC. They could win the 1 seed. They could win the 2 seed or 3 seed. It depends on what they do, but it's the Chiefs, man. You don't count against this team. Now, moving on to the NFC. Some of y'all's favorite teams are probably in the NFC. We're going to see how they fare here. Starting off with one of the most competitive divisions I've ever seen, the NFC East. Starting off with the New York Giants. Now, Giants obviously sucked last year. But the thing is, I like their roster. I like Tyron Tracy Jr. on their running back. I like Cam Scatterboo. I like Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is a baller, and he showed that in Pittsburgh. But he also, I think I see him working well for New York for the New York. I mean, he threw an 80-yard rainbow in the preseason. That just shows how good Russell Wilson is. If Russell Wilson's a Super Bowl winner, by the way, even though he's old, he could still sling the thing. I'm thinking Giants, but the thing is, their Giants roster is not that bad. It's just their schedule is stupid. They have the hardest schedule to face. Not only that, they have to face their own division twice. They have to face the NFC North, and they have to face the AFC West. That is stupid for a 4th place team. Man, I'm thinking they're just going to get D tier, but not because their roster is bad, but because of how hard their freaking schedule is. I don't think their team is ready to deal with the schedule that hard. So, yeah, D tier. Next up, the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys, they have a lot to prove. I mean, Dak needs to prove he deserves that $60 million he got paid last year. I think they just need to bounce back from last season when Dak got hurt and they were getting blown out and stuff by the Saints, the Ravens, and the Lions. But they just need to bounce back. I think they still have studs on their team. I think the Cowboys have a lot of great players on their team. They just need to bounce back. So I doubt if they make the playoffs, but if they do, they'll probably make it as a wild card team. And obviously when Dallas makes the playoffs, we know they're losing. So yeah, I'm thinking they're more so a C tier. I think they need to prove it, or actually, not B tier. I think it is too much talent to be a C tier team. We saw what Dallas was in 2023, and we saw a little bits of 2024. They also still need to pay Micah Parsons. Jerry, what are you doing? Pay Micah Parsons. Anyways, let's move on. or not move on because my dad is calling me. Hold on. I'm going to be right back for a second. Ba, 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 ba. Alright, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. We were just talking on the phone for so long. But anyways, let's get back to the tier list if anyone is still here. Alright, so Cowboys, yeah, they're a B tier team. I think just Dak Prescott needs to prove he's worth all that money they paid him. So yeah. And also they have a good defense and their offense. It's because they have a lot of talent on their team. They just need to put it together. Alright, the Washington Commanders. This is where I want to really start pissing people off. This team is overrated. Now, before you get at me for saying that, let me explain. Their defense is not all that. I think their defense is okay, but it's not up to that level yet. Sure, they may have done really well against the Lions last year, but I don't think they're really, because the biggest thing is it wasn't the Commanders' defense that won in that game. It was Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels is a really great player, but I feel like he's going to also fall victim to the sophomore slump CJ Stroud did. I don't think he's going to have as big of a success because I think teams have tape on him, and I just think that they're going to regress this year, especially with their division being really hard to beat this year. I'm thinking they're B tier. I think they're B tier, even though they made the NFC Championship game. I feel like they're just one of those teams that are just like miracle run, and then they're just going to slow down this season. That's just what I'm feeling. They may make the wild card, but I doubt they're going to get further than that. They may win a playoff game, but we will see. I will have to keep the Commanders at B. Maybe they'll get better. I'm hoping they get better. I like the Commanders. I like Jaden Daniels, but I think they're gonna get better. I think they're gonna regress a little bit this year and then bounce back the following year. So, yeah. Anyways, next up, the Super Bowl champions, the former Super Bowl champions, or defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. I did not expect the beatdown the Eagles gave the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I think this team, although they have lost a lot of talent in the offseason, they're still, I think, Super Bowl contenders. I think the Eagles are going to be Super Bowl contenders with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Now, is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback? I'd say he's like he's around like low top 10 at best. But I think this team, the team itself, I think is really freaking good. I'm going to give this team an S tier. I think they're S tier. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. I think they're a really good team. I think they're going to make some big. They're still going to be one of the teams to beat in the NFC. So yeah, in the NFC East division, I'm thinking the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win it again, but I think it's going to be much harder to do that with the Commanders, Cowboys, and the Giants in there. So yeah. Anyways, let's get on to another one of the most competitive divisions in the NFC, the NFC North. Starting off with the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, I believe, have gotten better. They have a lot of talent, I believe. The only real concern I have is Caleb Williams. If he does not work out with Ben Johnson, then I don't know what to tell you, Bears fans. I feel like Ben Johnson is going to be decent, but I don't feel like it's going to transition very well to the Bears offense as it would go the Lions offense. But it depends. I think the Bears can surprise me. I'm going to put them C tier. I think similar to the Patriots, they just need to prove it to me before I can rank them up higher. Next up, the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, I feel like, is decent. I don't feel like he's the big superstar that a lot of Packers fans are saying, but this team is decent. I will give them that. I think they finally got a wide receiver one, Matthew Golden, and I think they are a pretty decent team in the NFC. They might make the wild card, but I don't think they're going to get much further than that this year. But although I don't want to see them do well. They're going to be a pretty good team to face in the NFC. So I'm going to put them B tier. they'll get higher eventually. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to have a step back this year, although because they're obviously having J.J. McCarthy. I don't know what they're going to do, how he's going to be. I think in a similar road to the Bears, I'm going to give Vikings a C tier. I just need to see more from J.J. McCarthy and see how he plays, because this is technically his rookie season in the NFL. So I just need to see more from the Vikings. That's it. Hopefully they might make a run, but we'll see. But with a team led by Kevin O'Connell, I think they're going to be a really tough team to beat. Now, my team, the Detroit Lions. Now, no bias, but this team is still a Super Bowl contender. I don't care what anyone says. All the things that people have wanted to say, is that they lost Ben Johnson, they lost Aaron Glenn, they lost Frank Ragnow. They want to say all this stuff, and now the Lions are going to step back because they got a harder schedule this year. Well, let me introduce you to John Morton and also Kelvin Shepard. Kelvin Shepard was groomed to become the defensive coordinator after Aaron Glenn. And the thing is, Shepard was already calling plays before Aaron Glenn would call them on the field. So he's already got some experience. He's never been as experienced as a DC before. And it's going to be cool to see him. And I think the players love him. And I think he's going to work out well at DC. John Morton is one of the biggest reasons that the Lions offense is going to I think the offense is, I'm going to view this because a lot of people are going to say otherwise. Offense is going to be better this year than last year's. I know that's a crazy statement, because how can you do better than the Detroit Lions offense last year? And also your schedule is really freaking difficult. Here's why. A lot of people want to point out to John Morton's 2023 or John Morton's offensive coordinator stunt with the Jets. But it's the Jets. They're barely any talent. And the dude did what he could with that talent there. So, and I feel like the Lions are, and also John Morton was one of the biggest pieces to make Ben Johnson, make Jared Goff, make this Lions offense. And now he's going to be calling the plays. It's going to be awesome for this team. This team, no matter how many people they lost in free agency, and no matter the injuries, I feel like this team is still a Super Bowl contender. I think they're still the team to beat in the NFC. Better than the Eagles. I'm just going to say it right now. I think they're better than the Eagles. Statistically, roster-wise, they're better than the Eagles. It just comes to the winning for them. But S tier for the Lions, I don't feel like there's a more complete team in the NFC than the Detroit Lions. No bias. Anyways, he's obviously NFC North. I got the Detroit Lions winning it again. I think this is their big year this year, and this is really to prove they're the team to beat and they can stick around. Hello, Jack. Welcome to the stream. All right, now let's head on to the dumpster fire of the NFC South. Well, let's get on into this. Obviously, New Orleans Saints. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that one. And when you have Spencer Rattler started here, when you have Spencer Rattler as your quarterback, I don't know where else to rank you. Rank your team. Yeah, cool, it's C. Yeah, it's not C because it's mid. I feel like it's a lot unproven, and I want to see it. I don't want to see how it is in the regular season. They just need to prove more to me. That's pretty much what I was thinking. And now, let's get on to another one of my teams, obviously a Carolina native, the Carolina Panthers. A lot of people are high on the Panthers this year. I feel like the Panthers have a lot, although I feel like the Panthers have a lot more to prove. I think their defense still has some glaring holes. I think the Panthers, with Bryce Young now having Teteroy McMillan, I feel like their offense is going to take a leap, but the defense I feel like is still going to be the ones holding the back. I'm thinking C tier for the Panthers. I think the Panthers, they have a lot more to prove. They have a lot to prove if they want to prove that they can go on a run against the weakest division, that being the NFC South. here. I think they just need more to prove to me. But Bryce Young, hopefully he's that guy. Now, the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, I don't know. I feel like the Falcons, it depends on Michael Penix Jr. and how Michael Penix Jr. plays. And I feel like their defense has gotten slightly better. Their offense, I think, is decent. I'm thinking they're a little bit above the Panthers. I think they're a B tier, but they just need to prove it. They need to prove they can go on a run and beat Tampa Bay. They already did. They beat Tampa Bay with Kirk Cousins and swept them. Although they choked the few games of the season. Oof. That high, though, with Michael Penix Jr., oof, I don't know. I think they're fine right now where they are. I feel like they've proven a lot more than the Panthers, although the Panthers beat them last year. But that last year is last year. We're talking about this year. Or actually, you know what? C tier. C tier for the Falcons. I think Panthers and Falcons are right like neck and neck with each other. Now, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they're the proven team. I feel like they're a team that could be really good in the playoffs, although they lost to Washington last year. I think I'm a believer in Baker Mayfield. I feel like Baker Mayfield is going to be a really good quarterback, and I'm happy he's found himself a home in Tampa Bay, taking over after Tom Brady. I feel like their defense is going to have some struggles. And they obviously still have Todd Bowles. But I feel like Tampa Bay is an A-tier team. I feel like Tampa Bay is an A-tier team. I feel like they can win a playoff game, but I don't think they're going to do more than that. So I'm thinking like a low A-tier, like an A- for the Bucks. Now, who I think is winning the NFC South? I think it's a three-way toss-up between the Bucks, the Panthers, and the Falcons, but I feel like the Bucks are the most highest chance to win the division. So, yeah, Bucks. So, now we're heading on to the NFC West, the last division. The San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers, obviously, they had a down year last year, but that's mainly because of injuries. I think the injuries we really held this team back. But they also lost a lot of talent in free agency. And also, they did bring in some... I think they did bring in some people from the draft. Obviously, they got the Commanders running back. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But I think the Niners, considering they have a cupcake schedule, I think they're going to be A-tier. They still have guys like George Kittle. They have guys like Nick Bosa. I think they have a pretty sound defense. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender anymore, but I think they're still could be in the play. I think they could still sneak into the playoffs and still be a good team. So, yeah, 49ers. I think similar with the Buccaneers. Cardinals. Cardinals, I feel like they're going to have another slump here. I'm not the biggest believer in Kyler Murray. I want Kyler Murray to do good, but I feel like it's just been to that point where I don't think they could win a Super Bowl with him at the quarterback position. Also, I don't know about Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm thinking they're going to be D tier this year. But hopefully they could get more. But I want to see the Cardinals do well, but I don't feel like it's their year this year. And now the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're a weird one. To rank here because they got Sam Darnold, they got guys like Cooper Kupp, and they definitely added some more to the offensive line. But I think I'm not really sure about their defense, but their offense, if that O-line can hold for Sam Darnold, which they need him to hold for them to hold, or else Sam Darnold's going to be seeing ghosts, they could be a good team. I think they're just more unproven to me. I think they're B tier. I just don't think they've proved enough yet. I mean, obviously, Sam Darnold, new quarterback in the building. Also have Jalen Milroe. I mean, there's a lot of questions there. So we'll have to see how the Seahawks do this year. Now, Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I think the Rams are another one of those teams. It depends on Stafford. I think Stafford, if he gets injured again, we'll have another. I feel like we're this close to having another 2022 season for the Los Angeles Rams, where Stafford got hurt and then the Rams had a really down year. But with Stafford slinging the rock, I think they're a really good team. They're a really good team. I mean, they beat the Vikings in the playoffs, and they were the closest team to beating the Eagles in the playoffs. So I'm thinking Matthew Stafford I think he's still got. I feel like this is probably one of his last years. I think they're A tier. I think they're A tier. Better than. Let me rearrange it to where I think the Bucs are better than the Texans, and I feel like the Niners are better than the Texans. But in my opinion, I feel like the Rams. It's a toss-up. I think between the Niners and the Rams, but I feel like the Rams are still going to pull off the division and win it for. So yeah, that's the my NFL tier list. Obviously, I feel like. Well, any one of these teams, I think almost all the teams got better, other than these three. But and also, there's a lot of young teams need to prove it, and other teams that are looking to make it to the playoffs and win a playoff game. Also, there's some teams looking to win the Lombardi, especially like the teams up here, like the Lions or the Ravens or the Buffalo Bills. But anyways, that's my list. Thank you so much for watching the stream. And I'll see y'all in the next one.